tunakujua Touch by Laura. But that's not your real name. That's the brand.
Yes, that's the brand.
That's the brand. But what's your actual name?
Si unitumie M-Pesa utaona.
Tukutumie M-Pesa.
Watu watume M-Pesa.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
How are you, Laura?
I'm good.
You're good.
How
look
are you?
Amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, she looks good without makeup. Just to clarify. Well, it's an honor to have you today, and most of the time we see you doing your things on social media. So you are a makeup artist. Yes. How did you start? Like, take us through when is the first time you saw maybe a makeup kit or you went to a class or something like that. You know, most people say, it was always in me when I was a child. People used to say, was it the same for you?
Wow. Oh, thank you so much for having me. Yes, I should say I think it was in me because the beauty industry in general, I used to love doing hair. I used to love doing people's faces in school. I know it sounds like, people's faces. Yes. I used to powder my friends. They would come from other dormitories. They come and line up.
The powder ile white?
Yeah, that one.
Ooh,
that one.
Wow.
And in fact, my time, there was a powder called Miss.
Yeah, I remember it.
Oh, you remember?
I saw it. My mom had that thing. So I used
your
to,
mom.
I used to steal it and do the same. So also maybe I think it was in me.
Yeah, so I used to do that. Miss powder, then I would do wanja. Just the normal, the black pencil. I used to have it in my
You draw a line on people.
Dormitory. Yes, this one here, chini. Yeah, you
really?
can't do the eyebrows. You're in school.
Okay.
You're in high school, so you can't do that. So I was pretty same. That's around the time that I used to feel like, I really loved seeing other people looking good, and myself included. Yeah. So when I finished high school, I of course stayed for around some months, a year. And then now when the time came, my parents asked what did I want to do, and I said I wanted to do beauty. So I joined a course in Nairobi, a school called Personal Care Institute. I don't know if it's still there. I am not so sure, but that's where I did my cosmetology. And yes, makeup was part of it.
Well, they didn't tell you to become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that?
Me, honestly, I thank God for my parents. I thank God for my mom. I love her so much. And I thank God for my late dad, Mr. Mwakio, the late. I really thank God for their lives because they didn't. Okay, my mom is a nurse, and she, of course, kuna vile, when I was growing up, she would, I even knew my daughter, one day you'll become a nurse, blah, blah, blah. But when that time came, she never pushed it like, you have to be a nurse, you have to do nursing. No. Yeah, so I really thank God for them. I told them that's what I wanted to do, and they supported me 100%. So I'm really grateful for them. Yeah, because maybe I could have done. I honestly don't know, but I'm so grateful. I'm really grateful for them.
Wow. So you went, enrolled for a class that took how long?
The course was to take around 9 months, but then it ended up taking around a year and also. Yes.
So when you did the course, did you start practicing immediately to the Touch by Laura you are now, or how did you go about it?
Yes, good question. So after finishing my course, I started from the ground, like working. In fact, it was first attachments here and there in Nairobi. And then I landed my first job in a salon in Buruburu area. That's where I worked for around 2 to 3 months, but it was pretty slow. I was new from school, so it was not so easy getting clients because it was on small basic salary and then commission. So it was becoming really tough. So I said, let me just go back to the coast. So when I came back to Mombasa, I went all the way to South Coast. And that's where I got I would say, I worked in a salon, in the spa for just also I think a month. and then I got another job where now it was a salon outside the hotels, and that's where I would say I had like the longest time to work in Mombasa. Yeah.
Then after that, what happened? Because now it's like kumeanza kupik kidogo. So do you venture into makeup fully, or what happens after that?
Yes, so good question. So a lot was happening around that time in my personal life that made me take like I want to take a breather. So between around that time, I had to I wanted a fresh start after that is after some time around 2007, towards the end of 2006, towards 2007. Yes, I just needed a breather. I needed a fresh start because things were not going so right in my personal life. So I traveled out of the country for quite some time, 3 years straight. I was not in the country, and you will be surprised, I was not doing anything to do with beauty. I left it at the airport, honestly. Yes, I left it at the airport. I was doing nothing to do with beauty. Yeah, so I stayed and I came back to Kenya around 2010. Mid 2010, that's when I came back to Kenya. Yes.
So you would have stayed in the country you were in. So what made you come back to Kenya?
Honestly, I think it was God's timing. Looking at it now, it was just God's timing, because I didn't know that I would want to stay out there for 3 years. I thought I would stay for more than that. But I think it was God's timing. I just felt homesick. I felt like I just need to go back home. Everything was working well. The job that I was doing, it was just manual work, but it was going really well. I had really gone up the ladder from the amount I started with to what I was getting paid. But I think it was just God's timing. Yeah, looking at it now, it was just God's timing, because everything that followed after, I think it just had to happen that way. Yeah.
So you come back into the country. Do you get another job? Because ushasahau mambo ya beauty kidogo 3 years down the line. So 3 years down the line, you come back, and what's your, game? What's your plan? What's your game plan? Junisha Rudy. What's the plan now?
Yeah, good question. Hey, well, you're just the best. So, yes, so I'm back in Kenya, and of course I took time off. Like the first month, second month, but being the busy me, the workaholic me, nilikuwa naona ni kama najiwaste sana, kaa tu bado sijaanza kufanya chochote. Kumbuka I've been away, life imesonga, the way you left your friends and your peers wamesonga. So it's not like you just come and knock at someone's door and you already get an opportunity. So I took some time kwanza kuangalia, what do I do? Should I try employment? Should I try going back to what I love? And that is exactly what my dad even advised me to do. He said, just go back to doing what you love. So I opened a salon. I opened my first salon. It wasn't that big, but it was just nice, and beautiful. Yeah, but then after some time, the business, it didn't pick quickly or immediately. I had to downgrade from the place I had opened. The first place I moved to somewhere slightly affordable, so that I could manage to balance everything work-wise. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. But then of course I had it's not like I forgot beauty when I was abroad. No, I use the knowledge to do it on myself, especially hair. It really came in handy, because the country that I was, the area that I was, it was pretty, I was the only black or Kenyan lady. So African lady, in fact, yeah. So it really helped. It was hard to get people to do your hair, so it came in handy. I could do my own hair. I could relax my own hair, do my matuta, and just fix braids and go to work. Yeah. So I thank God. By that time, it came in handy. Yeah.
Where is safari ni ndefu? Hatujafika hata who is touched by Laura.
Bado.
So So umeka hizi salons, you have started salons, and the first time it doesn't pick well, you go to another one, now you're downgrading actually, and does that pick?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh wow.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't peak. In fact, it even forced me to go, and because that's a pesa Zaisha. The little that I had saved, the little that I had saved, Zaisha sasa manake I thank God I managed to do something really major with what I was, with the resources that I got where I was. So I had little left. So zinaisha na, because I've opened the first place, I've paid everything, even like paying 2-3 months in advance, but nothing in return. The second place is also not picking because it was really slow, because the area where I opened this salon, it was a small town. So with being someone who is very hardworking and nishazoea fast life, it was really slow. So I had to close that down and went back home, like to open. There's an extension of the house that was empty. It was like pretty much like a store. Yeah, so that is what I decided. I told my dad and mom, like, this hizi ndo zitanifaa, this person ndo itanifaa. So I remolded. Wow, that one. Yes, and then that is where I had to put up my salon for the time being, and I think it was better because I was not paying rent. Yeah, so at least ikawa hata nikipata customers wawili kwa siku niko angalau si vibaya. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about it, I feel like you're moving from here. You started from quite a better salon when we put like you go to another one, things still don't work out, then now you just opt, wait, let me just go back home and just do something from there. How were you feeling at that time? Because it's like ukianza hii salon kubwa, you had a plan. Hey, uko na plan haingiani, you went to this one, uko like, God, hata hii haingiani, let me go back home now.
Yeah.
How are you emotionally? How are you feeling? And having all this dream of having maybe a big salon and all, how are you feeling?
Honestly, I don't think that it really affected me.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't really affect me that much. Of course, you start a business, you want it to peak as quick as it can. But I thank God that I think my parents have been very good comfort. Yeah, they've been very good comfort. And you'll be surprised, even when now I started doing it from the house, I think now it was peaking, like the words were going round. So and so is doing nice. She does your hair nicely. So and so when she blow dries your hair, oh, she does it nicely. Oh, the way she talks to you, So if you come over, I think it was now going round, because I think even when I was operating from home, I think it was way better than the way I was operating from the two places that I had opened. Yeah, so for me, and then kumbuka, at the end of the day, I'm not paying rent, so kidogo ilikuwa but it hadn't, with my parents motivating me, I thank God it didn't demoralize me in any way.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where does Touch by Laura start? Anaanza wapi? Tumesikiza story hadi tunashangaa. Ngoja kidogo, kwani kuna mahali tumemiss? Touch by Laura anaanza wapi?
Touch by Laura, sasa basi. So around this time that I've returned home, the thing that really put that seed, looking back, is there's one of my friends was getting married around that time. Yeah, so she was like, wewe sulisoma hizi vitu, you are the one who is going to do my makeup for my wedding. I was like, perfect. In fact, that is the gift I'm going to gift you. Mimi sitatoa pesa, nitakufanyia makeup. So I made sure I had everything that I needed. I remembered what we were taught. It was very little, by the way. What we were taught in school, it was very, very little, very shallow, but I knew the basics. And then also makeup by that time, ilikuwa haijakuwa kama venye iko sahi. That is around 2010. So nakumbuka nilikuja paka Mombasa, because she's dark complexion. So she doesn't use the same products as I use, especially foundation and powders. So I had to come all the way to Mombasa. I came for shopping to get her perfect shade of foundation and powder. Yani I didn't want to ruin her day. So that is would say was my first job, but not job paid. That was something that I did for my friend, and it was just out of like something I learned, but pretty much like a hobby, you know. It was hata mambo na pesa mimi kwa sijafikiria. Yeah, so I did her makeup, and people were blown away because they were used to seeing people with her complexion wakifanywa wakika tofauti sana. So for her, alikaa vizuri. She looked really good, really nice. Looking at it now, even if I show you the photos for that time, for 2010, indeed I really tried. Yeah, so that is something that now made me start doing makeup, but kama tu, you know, kahobi. You know, even from her wedding, I think I got another friend who was having it was a party. I did it, but not even kulipu. Ile tu like, wacha nkutengeze, you know, something little. Let me do your eyebrows, and kufanya ka powder, ka foundation, ka powder, na ka lip gloss, ya vitu kama hivyo. Because even at that time, that is pretty much how we were doing it. Yeah.
So you do it for your friend and another person. Then when do you actually think this can actually be a business? I mean, I was doing salon, and salon, I wanted to mix everything. I think that was the whole idea.
Yes.
But now I want to do it as a makeup artist. Like, this is what I want people to know me for. How do you get into that point?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So I would say pia kitu yenye, the other thing that really gave me the drive is those days there was a hype for wedding show. So when I watch a wedding show, I used to love it. Sunday 6, I would be glued to the TV. But funny enough, suddenly you'd see the brides in Nairobi looking so beautiful, so elegant. But brides in Mombasa, yes, yani. Yeah, so at that time, I realized, wow, there's a gap, there's a need. And there's a gap. I can be the person to fix it's not like it was not being done. People were doing makeup, but not that elegant way, the way it was done. Like when you see Nairobi brides, they were looking all classy and elegant. Yeah, so I said, and then another thing that also like really ilikuwa inaniwasha is the eyebrows. Yeah, you see Nairobi brides would have beautiful, soft, nicely done eyebrows. But you see brides from Mombasa, the eyebrows will be so bold and scary. So I said, let me look for, I think that will be my niche. Let me start this niche of saying I'll be doing the queen of well done eyebrows. In fact, that used to be my first tagline when I started the name Makeup Touch by Laura. I used to call myself that way at first. In fact, my husband is the one who said Makeup Touch by Laura. So I and then hapo chini I used to write Queen of Well Done Eyebrows. Yes, I think it's still that's how it is on my Facebook. I think I haven't changed. I think so. Yeah, so I said this is what I'm going to use. This is how I'm going to. That will be my tagline, so that people can really quickly relate and want to see what is this she's saying that she can do, like well done eyebrows. Yeah, and that's it. I never looked back, and. Of course, it also Touched by Laura haikuanza tu ati immediately. In Mombasa, I also opened my first salon in Mombasa around Mtopanga area, but it didn't do well. It didn't do well as much. By the time it was starting to peak, I went to give birth to my son. So things didn't go so well. By the time I'm returning from maternity, I had already shut down. So it gave me time as I'm in the house nursing my son, and during that maternity leave, it also gave me time now to restructure and see, now this Queen of Well Done Eyebrows. In fact, had I already started? No, that was still in my mind. Even the Facebook page ilikuwa bado. Yeah, the Facebook page ilikuwa bado. So, of course, I was like, because I feel this need for brides to look good, I looked for work. Yeah, that is around 2014. Yes, 2014. 2014, around 2014. So towards the end of 2014, I got a job at a bridal shop. This is the one that also really helped me in getting to get the experience, like straight on experience with the clients and brides. So my work was to talk to brides to try and push this service because it wasn't being done yet at that bridal shop. So yeah, my work was to try and talk to convince these brides as they come, they get their gowns and all. I convinced them to do what? To take this service, which we were introducing. Yeah, and it started paying off. At least you would get people coming to, when they come, you talk to them, they are like, okay, we'll come for a trial and try, but 50-50, because it wasn't a thing.
Yes.
It wasn't a thing. People were just used to, you know, you just have your pico eyebrows and someone on the day will come and just do little eyeshadow on you. Maybe the color is off, or she wants to make it look like the color of your theme color. You know, just it was just off. Everything was off. But at least this is something that it started picking slowly. But then I think I was, at that time, I just didn't want employment. Yeah, employment for me was not my end goal. Yeah, and I thank God I just decided very quickly, like early on, around I think early 2015, I just said, no, me, I don't want to be employed. I can just, let me just push. You see this agenda that I have, let me push it. I can just push it on my own and just be a brand someday. Yeah, so that is how I left that employment. It was short-lived, I think between 4 to 6 months. I didn't finish that. I didn't finish more than that. And then that is it. I said, yani ndo hivyo. Mimi I just want to see what I can build for myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
A very good story. We are hanging out with Touch by Laura right here at a Blue Radio. Of course, kwanza nimesahau, tunakujua Touch by Laura. But that's not your real name. That's the brand.
Yes, that's the brand.
That's the brand.
Yeah.
But what's your actual name?
Si unitumie mpesa utaona.
Tukutumie mpesa.
Watu watume mpesa. Yeah, anyway,
Okay.
So my good names are Gertrude Mwakio.
Gertrude Mwakio.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, wacha turudi pale kwa you've started a business. Now you're a makeup artist.
Yes.
Queen of well done eyebrows.
Yes.
So how do you turn art into how do you blend art and a business and get something good out of it?
Yeah, so I think it all started with finding and realizing that there's this gap that I needed to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the beauty industry, why not the beauty industry? It's even the best industry because it's an industry that haita kufal. It's there to stay. Yeah, so that is it. That's pretty much it. I decided I'm going to, in fact, for me, I'm so passionate about makeup. Yeah, so I was like, this passion, I'm going to turn it into profits. And that is what I did, and I have never looked back. Yeah.
Wow. Like, and I've seen when you started, you leveraged on Facebook. Ulisema ulienda Facebook. So how has social media helped you as a makeup artist? And why did you go to Facebook from the start, from the word go?
Yes, social media has really played a big role in the growth of my brand or the business. It has really, really played a major role because that's the place where people you get to display. It's like an online portfolio. Yeah, it's an online portfolio basically because with what we do, no one will come and follow you to see what you can do. But you have this platform that you can put your work out there and then you just it bears fruits. Yeah, so by that time Facebook was the it thing. Yeah, everyone was on Facebook, and so for me I said this is what I'm going to use it for. I was already on Facebook. I had a page, but it was my personal page. So once I said I'm going to have the brand, this is going to be a brand, and we even came up with the Makeup Touch by Laura, the name. We opened a page for that specifically. Yeah, so it was to do as little as I can, as much as I can, and post it so that people can see. And indeed, it bared fruits. It did.
For how long did you actually see Facebook really bring you clients? Maybe did it start immediately or did it take time for it to actually?
It took time. Remember what I'm doing. Makeup is not something. It's not something that would people need like to. People don't do it every day. Yes, people do it mostly when they have events and functions, etc., weddings, and especially around that time, towards the end of 2015, 2016, it was very, very slow. Yeah, it was very, very slow because people were already just used to doing their Pico eyebrows and that's it. And they go and they do a lipstick. You'll do a lipstick even when you reach the office. Weekend, as long as your eyebrows are done, you'll do a lipstick to go to church. So it wasn't really it's not a need per se.
Yes.
But it's a want that with time, with how the industry is growing, we thank God that it's becoming like a want, like it's moving on top of the list. Yes, not those ones that are down on the list hapo chini. No, it's becoming readily sought for. Yeah, sought after. Yeah,
exactly. Now that it's a sought after service, how do you feel the difference kutoka kitambo when you guys were here and now you're among the top brands? And it's here. People are looking for makeup artists left, right, and center. How do you feel the transition, the difference between the two eras that you've been in?
Wow, the growth is amazing. I really thank God for how the makeup industry is growing in Mombasa. Yeah, back in the days, it was pretty tough. Getting clients you would sometimes even go like a month without getting any client. Ukipata ni moja, especially brides, because now it's their day, it's a big day, they need to look good. Yeah, but now with time, after you do one service, it attracts how well you do it, and even how well you relate to your client. It attracts, it makes someone else will need your service, even if not immediately, but they will need your service in the future. But I'm so grateful to see how makeup artistry has grown in Mombasa, and it is growing. And even the artists themselves, the professional makeup artists, are also growing. And even the quality of makeup, the quality of work on people's faces is also growing. People are running away from the bad looking makeup, not like bad by those days it used
not
to be
well
the
done
in thing. Yes. Yeah, they're not well done makeup, the very black eyebrows, the foundation tone that is like 2 shades lighter kind of makeup. People are really running away from that. So I'm really grateful for where the industry is and to where it's growing. Yeah.
And I've seen your pieces of work, you just don't do face beats. You do more than that. Like there's this thing that you did with Kelensis.
Yes.
And it was very beautiful.
Yeah, that's special effects. You can call it special effects or makeup for editorials. Yeah.
So I'm sure when you started, you never thought that you would do that. So what inspired you to do such things?
Awesome. That's a lovely question. So for me, mostly even the classes that I attended in around September 2015 that really made my art game, like they were game changer for me. It was bridal or glam makeup. Yeah, but so that's what I'm even known for mostly. But the other kind of makeup, the special effects and the editorial kind of makeup, it's also good to know and learn, and these are things that I'm just teaching myself. Yeah, that part is purely self-taught. I just look at videos here and there and just become like curious, want to know if I want this, how will I achieve it. That is purely just self-taught. Yeah, but it's important because it's just a way of expression, and also that is mostly what we do for editorials, and because you can't do someone's special effects makeup and they start walking around. No, that is pretty much for editorials, for magazines, for online magazines, hard copy magazines, and it's also just a way of expressing the art and also setting yourself apart.
All right,
yes,
that's great. So around that time, that's when you started training, right? What inspired you to train people?
Okay, so as I've said, the market is growing. Makeup industry in Mombasa is growing, and there's a need for professionals, and the market is big enough for all of us. Yeah, so that really made me also, apart from, of course, expanding my sources of revenue or income generating services, it is to pass the knowledge to others so that they can also be able to help themselves with it. Yeah, because if someone comes to me and maybe someone needs money, I won't want to be the one to give you money today, tomorrow you come again and ask for, let me teach you how you can use your hands and get something and feed yourself. Let me teach you how to fish. Yes.
And I think that was around the COVID time when you started training people.
Honestly,
or before?
I started before. I started training 2018.
2018.
I remember all this, even the first class, all this time until 2018, I was operating from the house or freelance. Yeah, clients call me to where they are. I didn't have a makeup studio. I didn't have a makeup salon, makeup station, nothing. It was purely freelance. So I started training around 2018, and this is because there was a need as well. People were asking. Yeah, people will come to either they call you or they slide in your DM on Facebook and ask if I also would like to learn. So I saw there's a need. There's a need, and that is what I tried to meet. Yeah, so I started training training others around 2018, sorry. Towards the end of 2018 from my balcony. Balcony of my house. And then with time now came early 2018. Towards the end of 2018, that's when I decided, no, now I need to grow. This space is becoming, it's not a very good idea mixing business and personal life. Yeah, so I said, now this is it. There's a need for me to step out there and grow, so that also instead of doing it from the house and only teaching one person or two people, if I get a place, I can be able to maybe teach more and also have room to for other things so that I can grow.
Wow.
Yeah, so the salon, now my first place, I got it at the beginning of 2019.
All right.
Yes.
So during the COVID time, akuna events, akuna weddings, akuna birthdays, nothing is happening in short. How was it for you? Was it your lowest moment, I presume?
Wow. Hey, that COVID was the lowest moment in my life, in my personal life and in my business life. Yes. Personal life, because around that time is when my dad had been sick and bedridden. Yes, we were taking care of him, like in the house, and then now hakuna kazi. Yani and then now we were told this the lockdown, So it was the toughest time of my life yet, my business life. I pray that there won't be another one. Yeah, but it was really, really tough. But I thank God, by that time, imagine the way God works. He where my salon is, where my studio is, the landlords were very understanding. They were super understanding. In fact, they deducted for us the rent. Yes, I don't know if the others were, but for me, I thank God that the rent was deducted, and he was very understanding. He didn't there was no pressure to pay up every end month. So it piled up, and then later on, I came and sorted it. Yeah, but it was the lowest time because nothing was happening, no events, because we get work when there's events, when there are weddings, when there are birthdays, but now
when people are going out.
Exactly. It was really a tough time. But imagine His grace was just sufficient.
Wow.
Yeah, tukavuka hiyo stage, and thank God because it was affecting pretty much everyone. So yeah, we tulivuka too by the grace. Yeah.
So what has been your high moment in the makeup industry? Yes, this is what I was looking for in this industry.
Wow, I think my highest moment, I get it every time when I see I have trained someone and they are doing good.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that is the highest moment because I feel I have empowered this person. Yeah, because as I said, the market is big enough for all of us. So if I have the mentality ya kuwa I don't want to teach so that I don't want to teach others so that
cannot compete.
No. Imagine the market is so big and we keep growing. Yeah, where I am now is not where I was when I started training others. Yeah, so I think that is something that I experience every time. I feel good when I see people who have gone through my classes are doing good.
Wow.
Yeah, they're in business, and whether it's freelance, whether they have set up studios here and there, I just feel good. Yeah.
Wow. So as we wind up, where do we find you? And if someone wants to come for training, how do they go about it? When is the next what do we call it? The next
Intake.
cohort intake. So where do we find you on social media?
Okay, so my social media handles are Touch by Laura. Go to one word. Yeah,
Touch by Laura.
Yeah, the TOUCH by Laura. Yes, on all handles, but I'm not on Twitter. It's just Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Yeah, that's what I use.
Wow.
Yeah.
When's the next intake?
The next intake should be from 7th of August. Yes, so those who are interested can just slide into my DM and then I will give them the direction.
Okay. And of course, hatuwezi maliza show bila kuuliza, which is your best, which face bit ukiamka sahi uambiwe fanya without thinking, which one will you go to?
Hey, I would do a subtle, glamorous look.
What's a subtle?
Yani ukaini kama hauko na makeup
Lakini
uko na
nayo.
makeup. Yeah, like the eyeshadow used are just nudes, neutral colors. On the skin, it's just beautiful, nice contours with very subtle blush and a beautiful nude lipstick.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the last question. What do you see in the makeup industry? Like in maybe 5 years, 10 years, how do you think it's going to be in terms of growth?
Oh, in the industry as
The industry in general.
I'm seeing an industry that is growing at a very good rate. I believe it will have grown even more. I see many local owned brands, products lines. Yeah, I see many makeup studios. I see many beauty schools in Mombasa. Yeah, and the coast region in general. Yeah.
What about Touch by Laura?
Oh, for me,
Future ni bright hadi inakublind.
nakwambia, I need me one for that. Yeah, but for me, honestly, we'll have to just wait and see.
All right.
But I am so I just want God to surprise me. I know I'm going the right direction, and I know He will not fail me. So I'm just expect bigger things to come.
Right.
Yes.
Who has been your support system all this time?
My husband. My one and only husband. One underline, my one husband. He's called Pastor Ezra J. He is my number one support, and he is my number one critique as well, but in a good way. So I am so grateful that God decided to bring him into my life. Yes, I am so grateful. He understands my early mornings. He understands my late nights. He's just supportive. I am so grateful. He has supported me in all areas. I am super grateful. I'm super blessed.
Right.
Yes.
One word to anyone who's listening and maybe they have something that they really want to do, but it's not working out, or they're not courageous enough to take the leap of faith to do it. Talk to them.
Wow, I think that is something that maybe at some point of my life, maybe I was also somewhere there. The thing is to just, as long as you have passion for something and you have prayed and you believe and you trust God for it, just shake off any those voices that speak to you and tell you, no, utaweza, you know, those doubts, just shake them off and just go for it. Yeah, just ask God to give you the strength and even to align everything. And if it's His will, I'm telling you, things will align.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. If it's God's will, things will align.
Yes.
I think that's what I take today.
Yeah.
if it's God's will, things
Things will
will align. It has been great. Thank you so much for gracing our studios, and we want to see more and more of Touch by Laura.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so blessed to be here today.
Oh.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.